Hello YouTube, Gamer Dad here. This is video number 26 in our 2D space shooter tutorial series in XNA 4.0. And I know I mentioned it's been a busy week, so I had a lot of homework and stuff to get done, and so I'm going to try and get this one out. I know I mentioned in the comments of the last video, or in the description, that I might go into power-ups. Well, I did some testing, and I think what we're going to do these next couple of videos is work on game states. So we can put in like a menu, you know, so you can push like enter to begin the game, press C for credits or something. But for now, we're just gonna get our menu. The only states we're gonna have right now are gonna be our menu, our playing state where we're actually playing the game, and then a game over screen. Okay, a game over state. All our work is going to be done in the game1.cs today. I'm not making a state manager class or anything like that. It's a fairly simple game, so we'll just handle our states in our game1.cs with using an enum and switch statements. Okay, so with that, let's get started. Come over to your game1.cs where we're going to be pretty much the whole time, and let's get started. So what we're going to do is right up here at the very top in our main here, we're going to declare something, and it's going to be a public, let me get the right spot here, public enum. We're going to call it state. Okay. Give us some room here. We'll just say state enum. Okay. And then all we do in here, if you guys have ever worked with enums, we're just going to put the name of our states in here, which is just going to be 3, and they're going to be separated by commas. Okay. And the 3 states we're going to have are menu, playing, and then game over. Alright, so what we need to do with these is now what we're going to do is we're going to come down, and I already commented this here because I didn't print out my notes, so if I fumble during these next videos, or this video, depending on how long it's going to be, let me know, because I don't have my notes in front of me, so I'm going to just kind of do this on the fly. Okay, so what we need to first do though is before our constructor is we need to set our first state. So this is where we want, when the game initially starts up, this is what state we want it to start in. Okay, so we're going to say state, we're going to call it game state will equal state.menu, and we want to start at our menu screen because obviously when we start the game we're going to want our cool menu up there, right? And I kind of made, I'll go into paint real quick, I kind of made like a little default menu screen, and I made the background transparent because what we're going to do is we're going to have our space field scrolling real slow in the background, and we're just going to have this overlaid. And actually I forgot something here, so let's take that out. Now we can save it. Okay, so what's going to happen is if you make the background transparent and you save it as a PNG, is it's only going to show the text, right? And then we're just going to have our background star field scrolling real slow in the background, so it's going to look pretty cool. Alright, and then I think I already have some sounds, some music in our in the zip file that I have out there for like a menu screen maybe or something like that. If not, I'll pick something else up and I'll add it in like the next video. Okay. But all right, so we set up our enum for our states. We're setting the initial state that we're going to start with, which will be our menu state, and then we're going to have to change some stuff down here in our update. Okay. So we're going to have to first create a switch statement. So come below, just below your allow the game to exit thing here for when you know the we actually don't even really need this because this is for a gamepad, but we'll leave it there anyways. Okay, so before your first for each statement in your update function in your game1.cs. Okay, and we're going to come down here and we're going to create a switch statement. So, and we'll name this. And I'm going to do it in all caps, because after we get our states in here, the code can get a little confusing because it's going to be long. Not the code itself, but there's going to be code inside each of our cases depending on what state we're in. So I'm going to say updating playing state. So and we're going to say here, we're going to say switch, and it's going to be game state. Okay, and then we're going to do this. And then within, now what we're going to do is we're going to put everything within this switch statement. Okay, all the stuff that we've put in here already, all this, you know, all our for each statements, everything we've put in our update, which goes all the way down to here, except for a couple of these down here, is all going to go in our, actually all of these are, except for our base update, is all going to go in our playing, because when we're in our playing state, when we're actually playing the game, we want all this stuff to happen, right? Okay, so go back up here to your switch, and then we're going to set our cases. So our first case is going to be playing. So we're going to say case state.playing, and you need a colon after that. Another note is I've been getting a lot of messages about, not to get off topic here, but I've had about 4 or 5 subscribers mention that they can't get their bullets to shoot, and like they're shooting them and it's not getting any errors, but they're not seeing their bullets. And the reason that is a lot of people in their player.cs, when you go down here and you're iterating through your bullet list to remove them from the list if they become invisible, a lot of people are forgetting this exclamation point. So if you can't see your bullets firing, that would be the first place I'd look, because if you don't put the exclamation point in there, basically what it's doing is every time you shoot, it's just going to remove them if they're visible, so you'll never even see them. Okay, not to get off track there, but all right, back to the game1.cs. Okay, so we created our switch statement, which everything's going to go in here, and our first case we're going to set up is our playing case. Okay, so we want a lot of stuff to happen in our playing case. All right, and basically it's just going to be a copy and paste. All right, we're going to grab everything we have in here in our update function, all the way down, not the base update.game time, but everything else. Okay, so everything, go ahead and scroll up all the way for all our for each statements. We're going to cut that, and we're going to paste it in our case playing state. Okay, so paste it in there. So now what's happening here is, so when we say that our state is in the playing state, then we're going to run all this stuff. All right, but until then, it's going to be starting in our menu state, because that's what we defaulted it to right up here in the main. Okay, so, and we'll fix this error here in a second. So all right, let's find out where that is. So that would be here, it would end here. All right, and then we're going to put our next case below this. So we'll say our next case will be, let's see, we just want one tab in, and this will be case state.menu. Okay, and then we want a actually we need to put that inside of the switch statement. Hope I'm not confusing you guys here. Like I said, I don't have my notes, so it's gonna get a little fuzzy. And then right away we'll just add our last case, which will be case state game over. All right. And then what we need to put in these is breaks, and that's why we're getting our errors, because it's just running through one case to the next right now without any breaks. Okay, so after we're doing all our updating here at the very end, we can just put break. Okay, we can actually add that in all of these right away. Okay, now our errors are gone. So let's comment these right away. So updating menu state, and on this one we are updating game over state. Okay, so basically how this works, and this is our draw function down here, so how this works is we're going to start the game and it's going to be in our menu state. So since we don't have any errors, if we just save and build this right now, all it's going to do is draw a cornflower background, if I'm not mistaken. Like I said, I don't have my notes, but because we're starting the game off in our game state.menu, we're not doing anything in our update, right? For our state.menu, it's just empty right now. So let's run this real quick. Okay, and why is it drawing this stuff here? Oh, and the sound too. So what we want to do is we also want to call that sound in a different spot. Okay, so we're loading our music right here in our load content. We don't want that there anymore, okay? So take out your music there that we're loading in the load content, and we're going to put that in our playing state. Just right up at the top. Okay, so that, and why is our ship loading? That's why. Because when we start the game, we're instantiating a player right away, right at the beginning. So we want to remove and our star field, and our HUD, and we can leave the star manager. So we want to take our player, our star field, and our HUD, cut them, and we want to load them when we start playing. Okay? Let's see how we work this here. So we're loading our content. We can't load our content because we have to call those right away. Give me 1 second, guys, so I'm gonna actually just get my notes out here so I can see. All right. Okay, I know why. The reason is because it's still gonna draw the stuff, right? So forget the last thing I said. Leave the music in your state playing, but we want to take those three objects that we instantiated and put them back up here. They just need to stay up here, okay? So regard that last comment. So basically what I thought it was doing off the top of my head, because I didn't have notes, is it's loading the content, which I didn't get to show anything, but we never added our switch statements to our draw. Okay, so we might as well do that right away. Okay, as a quick overview, I'm going to take this video kind of slow. Okay, so what we did is we came up here and we created our enum, right, and telling what states we're going to have in our game. We're setting our first state before our public game 1 to menu. So when the game starts, it's going to be in our menu state. Alright, then we created our switch statement, and it's going to be a switching between game states, our game state. Our first case is case.playing, right, and you make sure you put that colon after it. And then we're putting all our update stuff in the playing. So anything that you want to happen when the game is in the playing state, you put in here, okay, before the break. Okay, we don't have anything for our menu yet, and I'll get into that probably in the next video. The way this series is going to work for these videos is the first one will probably just be the setting up of the states, and then I'll go into each individual state as a separate video. Okay, so let's put our cases down here in our draw. All right, so we want to do it before the sprite or after the sprite batch stop begin. All right, and then we'll do the same thing. We'll say switch, and it'll be game state. Alright, and then our first case will be case state playing colon. Alright, we can add our break in here right away. Everything goes above the break. Okay, and then we might as well just add our other 2 states right away. It'll be case state menu. Add our break, and then case state dot game over. Okay. Okay, so we're in our update function now, and so what we say here is you want to do it after your clear, your graphics device clear, and after your sprite batch begins. So we're going to start the sprite batch, and then it can do this stuff. Okay. So what do we want to be drawn we're in a playing state? Well, we want our star field and our player to draw. Okay, so we can take them out, paste them in the playing state. Alright, so while we're playing, we want our star field and our player to draw, and we also want to draw our explosions, our asteroids, and our enemies, and our HUD. Okay, so we want to draw all this stuff in the playing state as well. We'll cut it out, paste it. Alright, so let's comment these real quick. We're going to say drawing playing state. We'll comment this, drawing menu state, and drawing game over state. And now let's clear up some of these spaces if you guys have some in there. And then we're going to do our sprite batch.end and our draw. Okay. And all this stuff can stay the same. All our other functions down here, like our load asteroids and load enemies and stuff, they're all separate. So, okay. So now if we save and build, we shouldn't see anything but our cornflower blue background, unless I mess something up again. Okay, there we go. And the reason is because what it's doing right now, I love that shake on Windows 7, but it does come and become a problem sometimes. So all it's doing is drawing our basic screen, because we're not doing anything. We're not doing anything in the update for our menu state, and we're not doing anything in the draw for our menu state. So we're just getting our default window. Okay. Like if we look down here, and when we're drawing our menu state, it's empty. We're not doing anything. Okay. If we go to our update, we're not doing anything in our update menu state either. Okay. It's just empty. So I think I'm going to end this video right here. This is going to be the first video. It might even be broken into two, because I did kind of drag this on. But quick overview. Set up our enum for what states we want. Okay, we're setting our first state that we want the game to start out in, which is our menu state. Okay, we went into our update function, created a switch statement, and put our three cases in there. Our playing, we put all our code in there that we want to happen when we're playing, including our background music. We want that to start when we start playing. Okay. We created our cases for our menu and game over, but haven't done anything with them yet. And then we did put our switch statement in our draw. Okay, between the sprite batch.begin and the sprite batch.end. That's a big point, and I can see people are going to have an issue with that already. Make sure to put it after your sprite batch.begin. So we created our switch statement. We have our cases here. We just did all our drawing that we want to happen in our playing state already. We just cut it out, put it in there, and make sure it's all before the break. And then we don't have anything in our game over menu state yet. Okay, so I'm going to save this off, and then I'll start on the next video right after this, and I'll try to get this saved and uploaded ASAP. Alright guys, so I'll see you in the next vid. Peace.